loss is the medical condition I hear about the most from women. And when it starts to thin and fall out, panic sets in, and it can take an emotional toll. That's what Shawn is going through. I know a lot of you can relate.
My name is Shawn, 35 years old. I feel so much older because I'm losing my hair. I have incredibly thin parts. I have bald patches in the back. So no matter where I part that part, I have the hair horizon. 10 years ago or so, I had much thicker hair. I felt more confident going out with my friends. When I look in the mirror, I see more scalp every time. When I brush my hair, I see clumps of my hair. I freak out quite a bit. I wonder how I am going to cover these bald spots in the back of my head. For a living, I am a pub trivia host. Welcome to Team Trivia. So I'm in front of a lot of people at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and play a song. I do feel more confident when I'm wearing a hat, when I'm hiding my hair. Inside, I do feel very insecure. If I take off my hat while I'm there, are they gonna think I'm sick? Are they gonna think something's wrong with me? This is my buffet of hair loss camouflage. I have 50 some odd baseball caps. I would never really go out without a hat or something to cover my hair up with. From start to finish, it takes me a good 45 minutes to style my hair in the morning. This is my collection of volumizing shampoos, conditioners, dry shampoos. Pretty much anything you can put in your hair, I've put in my hair. I wonder a lot what I've done that's caused my hair to fall out so early in my life. I can't even make the hat work on my head right now. Kind of want to cry. It really hurts me emotionally to see my hair just falling out.
Thanks for being here, Shawn. So how does the hair loss affect you emotionally?
My mom had this gorgeous, thick, full hair. I'm sorry, I'm already crying. I lost her in 1997.
Sorry.
So now every time I see these clumps of hair, I've got these bald patches, and I'm like, it's just another way I'm disconnected. I'm disconnected from her. To the point where I won't go out with my friends without wearing a hat. I won't be in pictures. What kind of person doesn't want to be in pictures with their friends? What kind of person goes out and says, you know what, I have to hide myself from here, instead of being out there and being in it with all my friends?
Does it make you feel helpless?
I feel like there's nothing I can do anymore. I've put so many different things in my hair. I'm ready to give up. I'm just ready to give up. I want to go home and cry and never leave my house, ever.
I don't want any of those things to be true for you. I'm going to change all that today.
Okay.
I've got to start by putting you in the truth tube because I want to show you some numbers.
Okay.
I don't want you to see this as a fearful experience. I want you to see this uplifting because it's going to give you control back.
Okay.
What we fear most really is what we don't understand.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you that today.
Let's take care of it.
Come out here. I did a battery of tests.
Okay.
You stand right there.
Sure.
That way you'll be able to see your numbers. So let me first give you the good news.
Okay.
All right? These are the numbers that we checked that actually I was surprised were so good. You're not anemic.
Okay.
Right? You're not low on iron.
Okay.
You're not low on selenium.
Okay.
These are the things we look for first.
Okay.
But there were some numbers that weren't good.
Okay.
And if it's okay, I'm going to share those with you.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing we looked at were your hormone levels, which
Okay.
really should be the first place you look with hair issues.
Okay.
And they were abnormal, significantly abnormal, and they point to problems with your thyroid.
Okay.
It's not working well. Second thing we looked at was the amount of inflammation in your body.
Okay.
Your inflammation numbers were, again, very, very high.
Okay.
Your glucose,
All right.
you know, it's a sign of diabetes or pre-diabetes.
Okay.
Your numbers were not in the diabetes range, but they weren't normal either. So we
Okay.
put you sort of in the pre-diabetes range.
Okay.
Again, an area where I think we can make improvement.
We can work with that.
And finally, I'm going to point out something that everyone right now can start addressing, and you will also, it's vitamin D.
Okay.
And your levels were low.
Okay.
They weren't just low, they were really low. In
Okay.
fact, you want your vitamin D level to be at least 30. That's like the minimum, 30.
Okay.
Your number was one of the lowest we've had on the show. It was 13.
I don't even know how to process that.
Well, let me put it in this way, because I'm going to go through these numbers with you very slowly and very carefully. But you came here for answers today.
Yeah.
I just gave you a bunch of answers.
And I have no idea how to process them.
No, I'm gonna walk. That's why you're here. That's why everyone's here, because you're not alone.
Okay.
I'm gonna take you through this, and you're gonna feel when you're done that all these are addressable.
Okay.
Every single one of them.
All right.
Hair loss is a fixable problem.
Okay.
If you know what to aim at. So what we're gonna do today is get you involved with a program that's gonna allow you one by one to change those numbers. I don't want you running to beauticians or more hair products anymore. I want you running to doctors.
Okay.
That's a message for all of us. Would you hear me with that?
Let's do it.
All right, I've got this the right person to introduce you to. We're gonna go through the whole thing, how to deal with inflammation, and get everyone confident that we can work to grow our hair back. When we come back, a plan for everybody struggling with thinning hair and hair loss. Stay here. Today, we have the plan to reverse hair loss and regrow your hair. Shawn is only 35, but she's developed bald spots and her hair comes out in large clumps. So I wanted to find a doctor that will work not just on treating hair loss issues, but the underlying medical imbalances that cause it. That's really why you're here, to see this as a symptom of a bigger issue. Dr. Elizabeth Boehm is joining us. She's a functional medicine physician who works with Dr. Mark Hyman at the Ultra Wellness Center. So we just saw, Dr. Boehm, that Shawn has some significant imbalances. We went through her hormone levels, her inflammation numbers, her glucose, vitamin D. These all sort of fit together. How common is it for women who have hair loss, almost half the population, to have one or more of these problems?
You know, it's so common. I see this all the time in my practice. And you know, Shawn, as a woman, I really relate to you because I know how important the way my hair looks means to how I feel about myself. And women come in all the time to my practice saying, I'm losing hair, what can I do? And this is really important that you came and had this blood work done because we found so many things we can work on that's gonna help your hair look better.
Okay.
Walk me through the thyroid. So what should Shawn be doing?
Yeah, you know, I think, Shawn, we've got to start there because we saw some major imbalances in your thyroid. Many things we can do in terms of diet and lifestyle for the thyroid, but your TSH was a little out of range, so much out of range that I think we want to also add in some medication to help your thyroid, okay?
Simple to take, very safe to take, not expensive to take. Okay, second big issue was the amount of inflammation in the blood sugar. You mentioned those as well, these sort of middle two items. What do we do there?
Absolutely. So, you know, we know food is medicine, right? And we're always thinking about a low glycemic diet to help with diabetes and to help with our blood sugar balance and to help prevent heart disease. But what we often don't realize is that when we manage our blood sugar and go on a low glycemic diet that we're going to talk about, then all of our hormones in our body rebalance themselves. And then we get hair regrowth.
Okay.
And if we work with a good diet, we can get that under better
Show me
balance.
what you're talking about with the low glycemic diet for hair loss. We've got a
Okay.
little demonstration here. Go ahead. The first thing we're going to do, I guess, is change what the foods that we're putting in our body.
Absolutely. We've got to work to lower inflammation in the body because inflammation comes with a specific diet, and we saw your inflammatory markers were kind of high, or definitely high. And so we've got to work to lower that inflammation, okay? So the first thing is we're going to be taking out foods that are high in inflammation. The
Noodles.
The simple carbs, yeah.
The ones
the
you like, I know.
noodles.
The
I love noodles.
Well, you do like your hair more than noodles is the question.
I definitely want more hair than noodles. We can deal with that.
The sugar and alcohol, okay, they're simple carbohydrates too. They spike that blood sugar up.
Okay.
We're going to pull those out of the diet. Dairy is an inflammatory food for a lot of people, so we're going to pull that out.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to rebuild you with foods that actually help the hair. They include fiber.
Absolutely.
all of these
So
things.
yeah, you know, so we can help with balancing your blood sugar by giving you the right foods.
Okay.
So a diet that's high in fiber.
Okay.
Okay. In addition, we want to give you good, healthy fats, things like that are found in salmon and avocado. They're good for our hair. And the other thing that fat and protein does is it slows the digestion and absorption of your food. So you want to have some protein and fat at every meal so your blood sugar doesn't increase as quickly with your food. So it's really important to balance your protein, your fats, and your high fiber foods each meal of your day.
Okay.
Okay?
So except for the noodles, the rest seems pretty easy for you.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Next thing we're going to do is increase your daily dose of two important vitamins.
Okay.
One is biotin,
Okay.
which is the building block for your hair, and the other one is vitamin D that I mentioned over there.
Okay.
So please walk us through how these vitamins are important for hair growth.
Absolutely. So biotin is really the hair vitamin. It's great for building strong hair. And you know, you can get enough biotin with 2 eggs a day. And in addition, these eggs are going to help also with balancing your blood sugar.
Okay.
So they're a great thing to add in.
I can do eggs.
Yeah.
And vitamin
Good.
D, again, you could get it from the sun, but in America, we just don't do that, especially in the winter months. So you're going to
Yeah.
take 1,000 units of vitamin D. We're going to start with that.
Okay.
It's a pretty good chance we might need a little bit more.
Okay.
And the last big issue, and I have no idea why we don't do this more, with so many people suffering from hair loss is minoxidil, drops daily. Dr. Boehm, why is this forgotten and why is it so valuable?
Well, you know, it's over the counter, it's easy to use, you can apply it to your hair a couple times a day, and it helps right at the hair follicle with hair regrowth. So while we're looking to get to these underlying root issues with the hair loss, while we're working to rebalance things in your body, we can be using the minoxidil, and that can be really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Shawn, we gave you some answers today.
Yes.
Dr. Boehm has agreed kindly to make you her patient. So she's going to help you.
I might need that Kleenex. Thank you so much.
Oh.
And all I want to know is, now that you have a bit more of an understanding, and hopefully a little less helpless in this approach, do you still feel like hiding?
It's gonna take a little bit to get there, so I can like start throwing out those baseball caps. But I actually kind of feel good about this. I feel pretty good about this.
All right.
Yay.
So we're going to follow your story. We'll be with you. You can all follow Shawns Story as well for the entire plan to reverse hair loss and regrow your hair. You can go to DrOz.com. Join the tour with us as we fix hair all across America. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.